I have to admit that without the clones, it would not have been a victory.
Victory! Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The Clone War has.
I'm Ahsoka?
Obi-Wan, have you trained the boy?
A new power is rising. I've foreseen it.
You should have quit while you were still alive, Dooku.
You cannot deny your feelings, Anakin. They are what make you special.
Here we go.
Is it true that he is the chosen one?
Ready, Skywalker, is to teach an apprentice. To let go of his pupil. A greater challenge it will be.
Welcome your host for a sneak peek at Clone Wars, Mr. Warwick Davis!
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. Welcome, everyone. How's it going? Are we all having a great celebration or what? Yes, we are indeed. And welcome to everyone who's watching the streaming from all the corners of the galaxy as well. Welcome to you to this very special Clone Wars panel. Who's excited for this? Oh, yes, I can't wait to find out more. But before we bring on the team from Clone Wars, I just want to say hello to some folks in our best seats over here, because there's some wonderful costumes that I'm seeing here. Hello, how are you guys doing? May I ask who you are today?
I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, who you really are.
Oh, Tony Reason.
It's Tony, yeah?
Yes.
And you're dressed as Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars.
I am.
Can you do the accent?
Hello there.
Hello. Hello there. Fabulous. And hello to you. What's your name?
My name's Ashley.
Ashley, and where are you from?
I'm from Orlando.
No, Ashley, I recognise
Yes.
you. I recognise this lady. She was dressed as another character only yesterday.
Yes, Harrison Dula.
Ah, very good. And I believe you're responsible for the wonderful artwork we see moving around here, yes?
Obi-Wan and myself.
Oh, and Obi-Wan. I didn't recognise you.
And Dana as well.
And it's you. You're all different today. Fabulous. Hello, how are you?
Adrian. I'm good.
You're good, yeah. You're very Adrian today,
Yeah,
yes,
I am
indeed.
very
And are you a fan of the Clone Wars?
Oh, yes, I am.
So what are you most excited about today?
The new season.
Of course. Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
Yes.
You're a big fan of Ahsoka? Well, Ashley's going to be out here in a minute. Look
Oh
at
my
his
God.
face. Look at his face. You're going to be within a few feet of
Oh my
Ashley
God.
Eckstein. How do you feel now?
I'm shaking.
You're shaking. Yeah. We should have security standing by here, actually, in case he makes a dash. Okay. And let me just say hello to you.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
Oh, very well. Who's your friend here?
Good. This is our dog, Simon.
Hello, Simon?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very strange name for a dog, isn't it, Simon?
Yeah,
Hello,
well,
Simon.
We consider him our son.
Hello,
so we
Simon.
Can have some of our own.
Hello. You're little Ewok, yes?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cute. And is Simon a fan of Clone Wars?
Yes, he is.
Yeah?
We showed him most of the seasons already. We've been streaming it before we came.
Oh, very good. Okay. Yeah. You answered that in all sincerity then. Thank you for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, Simon, enjoy the show. Our best seats in the house, everyone. There they are. Over a span of 6 seasons and more than 100 episodes, The Clone Wars pushed the boundaries of television animation, receiving acclaim not only for its technical achievements, but its complex and compelling storylines. The series won 4 Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Special Class Animated Programs 2 years in a row. It introduced us to fan-favorite characters Ahsoka Tano, Clone Captain Rex, and countless others, and resurrected one of Star Wars' most popular villains, Darth Maul. Ladies and gentlemen, here to tell us more about this exciting new Clone Wars season, please welcome Dave Filoni, D. Bradley Baker, Ashley Eckstein, and Sam Witwer. Hey Dave, welcome. There you go. Dee, welcome. Ashley, lovely to see you. Oh. Sam, pleasure, great to see you. Welcome, team. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Great. Very good.
Isn't this exciting? Look,
This is
look how everyone,
amazing.
they're on their feet, getting photographs of you all.
Exciting.
There seems to be some excitement in the house today.
Indeed. Indeed. And Ashley, your biggest fan is right over here. Is Adrian there? Look at him. He can't believe how close he is to you right now.
Wait, which one? In the front row?
Adrian, there he is waving. Look, with there he
The
is.
guy next to the dog?
Oh, no. No, hang on. Oh, my word.
I'm talking about
He
the
can't
puppy.
believe it. Oh.
Somewhere in time.
there in the picture.
Ba-da-da-da. Aw.
Yeah, just chat amongst yourselves a minute. Here we go, having a selfie. Ah. Wow.
Aw.
Thank you, Ashley. You have just made his entire life. How's that, Adrian? You owe me one, buddy, all right?
He's weeping. Aw.
So, welcome to all of you. It's really great to have you here. Dave, I've interviewed you on many occasions over the years, and it's great to have you back again.
Yes, it's good to see you.
Now,
It's good to see you.
I can't really tell, but I think everyone's thrilled that Clone Wars is coming back.
I hope so.
It's,
I hope so. Thank you. That's my hope.
So you got a limited run of a few episodes in this season.
Yep.
Now, many of us never thought this was going to happen. Can you tell us how it happened?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest. It's a very challenging show to make. And in a lot of ways, I think most of us at Lucas Animation, we'd moved on. We were making Star Wars Rebels and finishing that up. But really, I have to say, it was the persistence and the perception of Carrie Beck at Lucasfilm Animation and Agnes Chu at Disney Plus that got together and said, you know, we should finish this. We should make more. And they came to me and said, would you like to do it? And I said, yeah, but I don't know if I can do it again. I mean, it's that challenging. And it's a very personal show to me with the people that I worked with on to make it, working with George. So I had to do an assessment and make sure that if we did it, that we could do it the right way and that we could have the scale, the scope, and the stories that I know everybody wants. And I think in the end, obviously, the answer was yes, we could, and we sat down, and here we go.
You mentioned that it was. You mentioned it was a very challenging show to make. What makes it challenging for you?
The scale of it's huge.
Is it?
You know, on Star Wars Rebels, we were dealing with just a smaller group of people fighting against the Empire, and we could grow that over time. But you never had hundreds of soldiers in the battlefield fighting at one time, really. Just technically, to do some things in Clone Wars, you'll have hundreds of clones fighting thousands of battle droids. And to execute that, you need a certain, you know, technical ability. You need the right kind of staff. You need the right programs. You have to have everything in place. It's not like you just turn it back on as a machine. Right. But luckily, I have enough people that carried over from the original in enough key places that we were able to figure it out with the animation studios. And I think in the end, and as it should be, we're going to do it better this time around than we did before.
Wow. Wow. So Dee, Ashley, and Sam, what was it like for you when you first found out, and what was your initial reaction?
It freaked me out. I didn't think I'd be doing clones ever again.
No.
I thought that was the end of it. And really, if someone says, "Is there one thing you would like to do you know, in a voiceover career out here in Los Angeles that you haven't done, I would have said, I would like to go back and finish the Clone Wars, is what I'd like to do.
Wow.
So it's beyond thrilling to dive back in and to have Dave and the team finish it off the way that he wants, and especially for the fans to be able to experience the cinematic finish that this deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashley, how did you find out? Did Dave call you up one day and say, hey, do you fancy coming back into the studio?
Oh, you got a record of this, don't you?
Yes, I do. So I found out in an interesting way, and I haven't quite told the truth of how I first found out, because obviously we live our life always in secrecy. I feel like we've signed our lives away in NDAs, and we're always keeping secrets and trying to be a part of Dave's trust tree. And
there's an implied non-disclosure agreement, the NDA, whenever you work on something, and it's particularly strong with something that's Lucas oriented.
yes, but as a cast, we're very close. We are like a family, and we are ironclad. So we tell each other things because we know we can. So I'm actually at Disney World in line on a ride, and I get a text from D. Bradley Baker. And I will read it. Here's our text chain.
Well, actually, it was from Captain Rex.
And
I said, you won't believe what Dave just told me. Shh.
And I said, what? With 4 question marks.
Don't dare even tell anyone I even said anything. Please don't.
And I said, I would never. Is he with you? This feels like a trap.
He is. We're wine tasting with the rebels.
And I said, I thought so. Laugh out loud. Tell him I'm not that easily fooled.
Has he spoken to you?
And I said, no, why?
Afraid to even text.
Are you all right, Dave?
And so I said, well, I wouldn't. I hope it's what I think it is.
Tell no one. Jedi promise.
And I said, I promise, but I know Dave is watching. And then just say that.
CW finale, 12 eps, soon.
So that was our text chain.
I mean,
That's how I found out.
Rex had to tell Ahsoka. There's just no way.
Exactly. I mean, if we're not in Dave's trust tree, then Ahsoka and Rex, we have our own trust tree.
Oh. So, moving on. Sam, what's it been like for you going back to the Clone Wars again?
Well, do you remember when we were doing Malachor? And I'm calling you Lady Maul is calling Ahsoka Lady Tano, and there's all this implied history. So me and Ashley go to Dave and we go, so what happened in the siege of Mandalore? Can we please know? Because we're referring to it now. And Dave goes, yeah, you guys would have known, but you don't know, and I'm not going to tell you. and every time that I tried to get him to tell me anything about the siege of Mandalore, he'd be like, no, I'm not telling you. And I always thought that was weird that he wouldn't tell me the way we were supposed to end the Clone Wars. So one day, I was having a nice lunch with Dave and his lovely wife, Anne, who the Convor is named after. And no one broke any trust trees. It's just that Anne said one thing. And Anne's out there somewhere. Anne said, Dave, can I tell him? And I said,
the trust
and then
tree
Dave
is
said,
fallen.
no. And immediately I'm like, you know, it was like the usual suspects. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. And visions of this siege of Mandalore, Malachor or Mandalore, sorry, a little confused. So I guessed, but I didn't know. And then Dave finally told me, and then I knew for just under I think it was under a year, or at least it felt like a year. It was terrible. That was the worst secret I've ever kept in my entire career. It hurt to keep that inside.
We clearly see who Dave's
So you
favorite
wonder
is.
why only 12 episodes.
Yeah.
We're only doing 12 episodes because it's all they can handle. It's all we can together successfully hold back is 12.
Yeah.
And the trust tree is in a completely separate park and garden than where you guys are. You guys are like the shrubbery that leads you to the tree. And then there's a nice garden gate and an area around the tree. There are even people there that are not in the tree.
Yeah.
Called production staff that want to know what's going on, and I only tell them what they need to know. And then there's the actual tree, which I will saw limbs off when I need to.
I feel like after today, you're going to be instituting a moat around the tree.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea, Rex.
Yeah. He's revving up his chainsaw as we speak.
I approve of that design. Why don't you and the clones get to work? But this is why you don't know the end of the show, which is really all I've got at this point.
Well, I'm used to that,
So actors, for you, has it been challenging sort of inhabiting your characters again at this stage in the story? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I worked so closely with Dave going from Clone Wars Ahsoka to Rebels Ahsoka, and it took us a while. I mean, I feel like it took me a while to get Rebels Ahsoka and get her voice, and I feel like, got in that zone, and then he's like, yeah, now you gotta go back to Clone Wars Ahsoka. And it took me a while to go back to Clone Wars Ahsoka, but I mean, I know I said this at Comic-Con, but I'm gonna embarrass him once again. I can't stress how crucial having Dave as the director is for us.
Yeah.
Because he's the most amazing director I've ever worked with. And
she's planting seeds for a new trust tree.
Aw.
That is true. No, but no, I'm a very visual person, so I actually very heavily rely on Dave in his direction, and I do trust him. I mean, we're talking about trust, but we have a thing since 2006, since we've been working together, and he gives such amazing direction, and he knows when he has something. And it just even last week, I was like, do you have it? And he's like, what, you don't trust me? And I was like, no, I do. Okay, move on. So I'm just so grateful, because I feel like we finally got back to Clone Wars Ahsoka, but it took a while.
Absolutely. So Dave, what can we expect in the new episodes? Can you give us anything?
Yeah, I can't remember. They've been talking. I don't remember what part of the program we're at now. We're going to get into the clones, of course, because it's called Clone Wars, so that's not really that shocking.
No.
But I think you can see now a couple different things, technical and story-wise. We revamped the look of the show a tiny bit. The big question was, how do we make Clone Wars, how do we make it better now that we have better technology to animate with? And so we actually redid some of the facial features, just tweaked them a little bit, so the animation will be better on the faces, so that the emotions ring a little truer. So you can see there a before and after in Captain Rex. You probably can't even tell much of the difference. There are just subtle differences in the brow and the nose, and just little things that allow the face to react better. And some of the detail in the costumes we also improved. And we're going to watch a story that is primarily about clones, and it's one that actually diehard fans of the show know, called Bad Batch, which is the first arc. Yeah. And they're a group of clones, that are really genetically engineered specialists. It was an idea George had. What if there was like a group of clones that had bizarre traits, and instead of getting rid of them, the Kaminoans enhanced those traits based on something that Cody Commander Cody wanted them to do to experiment with making super soldiers. It comes out of the Clone 99 arc that we did in the Kaminoan arc, so it's an extension of that. And it's something we had planned to do. And these episodes, actually, what's interesting about them is that they were all shot, meaning pre-viz and pre-animation, prior to us stopping making Clone Wars before. So these story reels existed. So I went back into them and just retooled them a tiny bit, because you'll see some of the story process and some of the evolution that we go through to make things better as you go and improve the film. But they are probably the most authentic to the time period of when we were way back, finishing out Clone Wars before. They will feel very authentic to those episodes in that scale.
Fantastic. Dee, have you got anything to add? I mean, it's a pretty impressive image that we're seeing here.
Yeah, these guys are really, they're really great. I have such fondness for this A-team clone gang here. They're really fun, and you guys, I think, are really going to love them when you get to see them. It's incredible.
It's a funny thing to work with people that didn't work with Dee before on original Clone Wars. They're on the staff now, and they have no clue that he does all of them. It's like, and I'm like, it's the same guy. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, and that bad guy, that's him too. What? And it's like, there are some scenes in this where it's pretty much just Dee talking to Dee, shooting at Dee, killing Dee, getting back up at Dee, and it's pretty awesome. I never get tired of that.
It is awesome.
So good.
I mean, some would say, he's very talented. Others, like me, would say greedy.
Yeah, you would.
So, Dave, you've come here, you've shown us some pretty pictures and stuff. I mean, have you got anything else?
Yeah, I always think it's just great to watch Star Wars more than talk about it. It gets me out of trouble. So let's watch a clip from The Bad Batch.
Wow.
Gave away our position.
Huh. I thought getting shot down gave away our position. Everyone, find cover. We'll hold this position and let them come to us.
I don't think so, Captain.
That's not our style.
We prefer going to them.
Bad Batch, Plan 82, Shockwave.
Let's get to work. Mark 151. 45. Mark 151. 75. Mark 357. 75. Mark 357.
Spider droids, fan out.
Wow. That was amazing.
Pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
They're a really great team. It's really fun to watch these guys in action because they're really good. And they hum as a team. It's really exciting.
It's fantastic. Now, Dave, what about Ahsoka's journey at this point?
Yeah, that was a particular challenge here because of the way I had it planned out. And I would say, there's a look at one of the outfits. I did a tweak on the outfit, and I was trying to decide now that she's kicked out of the temple, how would she know or have any sense of style for what to wear? I mean, you have such amazing style, but it's not like that was a primary goal in the temple. So I thought she'd wear this like jumpsuit. So and I'm sure you'll make that at some point.
Yes.
I have no doubt. But everything from like the way she looked, and I was trying to decide after the armor, because I really liked the type of samurai style that she had in Rebels, and so I wanted to kind of figure out a way to bring that to life in this again. But her journey as it was a big question: is what does this person do who's raised in this temple with this ordered life? How does she react to everyday life? What does it mean that now she's on the outside, and how does she rectify who she was trained and raised to be versus what she experienced with leaving the Jedi Order and feeling somewhat betrayed by them and not supported by them except for Anakin? And so I came up with a story that worked off of one of our older stories, and I found a way to tell that story so it was relevant to her for who she was, who she could potentially become, and who she really needs to be, which is really the question with Ahsoka is always, there's this option, but then there's choosing what is right for you, for yourself, inside, trusting and believing, having faith in yourself. And so there's an episode arc that mainly revolves around that, and she meets two new characters, two sisters named Trace and Rafa. And I think I have images of them here that we can see. That's Trace, a younger sister that lives in the underworld of 1313. And yeah. Only in Star Wars can a level on a city planet get a cheer.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I love Star Wars.
I mean, you can say anything to this lot. If I said, I know, carpet.
That's not how that worked. They did that for you because you brainwashed them over time here. I know, because that's how you got a role on Rebels. I remember last time when you deceived me with your trickery work. But and then there's also...
You will give me a part.
It doesn't work like that on me. It's only weak-minded, my friend. Nice try.
Touche,
I've
Mr.
been
Finale.
trained. And then there's her sister, Rafa, and we can see who's a fantastic coat. These designs done by the art department. I love that coat. So another maybe thing for you over there. But again, it's Ahsoka experiencing what it's like for these two women to live in the underworld of 1313 and what their lives are like contrasts heavily versus what her life was like and her involvement in the war and with Jedi versus kind of more everyday people just fighting to survive. So
Ashley, what do you feel about your story arc then? Do you kind of... I mean, don't give anything away, obviously, but I mean, is it something that, it pleases you? I mean, it's interesting when you're an actor because, especially when you've been working on something for so long, you feel a certain ownership. I know a director wouldn't like you to feel that necessarily, but you kind of take it to your heart, don't you? And then it doesn't necessarily kind of go the way you want it to go.
Yeah, well, I have to say that these stories just far surpassed all of my expectations. So they're truly incredible, and I can take absolutely no credit for them. Dave and his team, they do an amazing job creating these stories. But I love these new characters, Trace and Rafa. These episodes, I can say, I mean, they went through some changes. Can I say that?
Everything
said it now.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Thank you.
But anyway, so these are two new characters, and they're fantastic. And I think Ahsoka, we see her in Rebels, and she has come so far. But we had to go back to that place where she still has so much to learn, where she is a bit lost. She just walked away, from the Jedi Order, and she is just kind of going wherever the wind takes her. And
that's a big change, though. It was a big change to go back from her being at this point in Rebels to she's still a teenager in this.
Yes.
And that was a bit challenging, just even writing it when you've written her with such wisdom at the point she was in Rebels to go back and being like, well, she's not naive ever completely, but she definitely has a worldview that might be challenging for other people at certain times. So that was an interesting thing to kind of do and to have performed and to look at. But really, for me, it's about her becoming the person towards the person that you see in Rebels. And that was kind of the arc that I'm linking up in the bigger picture of her character.
Yeah, she kind of just had to act her age a little bit in these episodes, and I was so used to Ahsoka, being back before she walked away from the Jedi Order. I mean, she acted so much above her age, I feel like, in many ways, and here she is with her two peers. And it was weird. It definitely was weird, but it was great. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of character development in these episodes.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing that. A few minutes ago, we showed a clip, an exclusive clip, and they went crazy.
Yes. So let's show another clip.
Oh.
Let's see if they go more I love clips. It's like when I stand outside, especially in the snow. So it's snowing, more clips for the snow. Stay inside where we have clips.
So do you want to set this up, or should we just let it speak for itself?
Let's speak for itself, yeah.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
Yes! Wow. I've never seen that. I want that jumpsuit. I'm going to make that jumpsuit.
Okay.
Now, Sam mentioned earlier something about the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Anything you can tell us?
It's a big deal. It's the story I've thought most about probably over the last decade. And how does that all work? And how can we produce it and make it happen? It's a very challenging episode, very large scale, but the arc of it is probably the most important from several standpoints. One of the most challenging things about Clone Wars is how it's integrated with the other films. It's between 2 and 3, and I have to adhere to a lot of continuity between those things. And when you get towards the end, I mean, that gap gets narrower and narrower. George experienced this too, making Revenge of the Sith, and he had to link up much more closely with what he was doing in A New Hope. And so a lot of the things that are in the story are things that were long planned. Some things changed because of things that had happened in Rebels, but always, I think always, frankly, for the better. Some things that exist in the story are things that he and I had discussed, George, before, you know, he sold the company and we moved on. So it's been very important to me to keep the DNA of what we were doing alive in this whole thing, that it feel authentic to Clone Wars. And this was a very big challenge as an arc, but I knew with the talent I have and the crew that we could do it. So it's been a kind of something fulfilled that I never got to do. And I feel really good about this one in particular.
Fantastic. So Sam, you're sitting down there at the end. Of course, the voice of Darth Maul himself. I mean, is it great to be back again? I mean, I think we've got an image of Darth Maul there. Has he got a new outfit as well, or anything?
A little bit.
Yeah, he has. Look at that.
Looking good.
He's got a little kilt or something? What is that?
No. I mean, it's a little more derived from the way we saw you in Solo. And so I was trying to do certain connections between that look there and what we'd done in animation.
Yeah, when I got the script for this stuff and finally could read what the Siege of Mandalore was all about, I was shocked. And I mean shocked. I don't mean like, you guys are gonna really like it. No, I mean like I was shocked. I'm glad I'm sitting down. Are you sitting down? Okay. This is some of the honestly, it's my favorite stuff that we've ever done as the character. And Dave wrote it personally. So, what was so fascinating to me about picking up with this character, as Ashley was saying, you go back to the earlier version of the character. He's not crazy old Grandpa Maul from Rebels. He's the younger guy. But, and Freddie Prinze Jr. once likened Maul to Sisyphus, the guy who was cursed for eternity to roll a big boulder up a hill, and right as he's about to get it up the hill, it falls back down the hill, and he's got to start all over again for eternity. Maul has been in this cycle where he's been obsessed with the same things, he's wanted the same things, and he hasn't been able to think or see his way out of this horrible, evil cycle that he's found himself in. And what I found most interesting about this arc is for a second, he actually tries to think his way out of it. He actually tries something different that he's never tried before or since, and we see how that goes.
Wow, you're right on the edge there, Sam. You're right on the edge there. Right on. Did you see? He went right up to the edge. Interesting. What does it mean? Interesting.
Moving swiftly on, I believe we have another piece of concept art here.
Yeah.
Woo! Tell us about this, Dave.
Well, today's my day to talk about Mandalorians, so I've got one of my own Mandalorians here, Bo-Katan. Will be back in this arc. She plays a pivotal role, actually, in the Siege of Mandalore, and how she weaves into the story became very important. Katie is back, Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan, which is very exciting. You might have seen her here at the convention. And these are some of my sketches of the Siege of Mandalore when I had the story meetings about it with George. George and I would have meetings with the writers, and we would sit down and kind of beat out the story, and these images are the ones that really lasted with me throughout the whole thing. And some of these I've shared before, but it's worth noting again because all of this has wound up actually in the story that you are going to see in some form or another. Boy, these drawings I did long time ago. There you are, some more of the images. There's her first force pushing Maul back. Always fun. That's a fun little thing that I'll talk about. I'm trying to find ways to make the show better, to give you guys more than you've ever had before. And so one of the things I thought would be great is, like, I need to have, and I wanted to have, as much as the Obi-Wan versus Maul fight was brief, I wanted this fight to be big. I wanted this to be an epic lightsaber fight. I haven't done too many of those in Clone Wars over the years, and so this one had to be, like, I felt among the best, if not the best we did. So the best way to do that, to have a great lightsaber fight, is go talk to somebody that has done lightsaber fighting. And so I went, and I know Ray Park from over the years, and I said, Ray, wouldn't it be great if, now that I've experienced doing more live action stuff, why don't we just suit you up in a mocap suit and have you be Darth Maul again? So when you see Maul fighting, it's going to be really Maul fighting. And my animation lead and I were watching it. As well as they've done everything in the past when Maul has done lightsaber fighting, there's just something unique about the way Ray moves. It's a skill, it's an art, it's truly him. And I was just thrilled that we could bring that and have you, the voice and the body again together. Like, it was great. It was a great moment watching him perform it.
I got to
Real
watch
exciting.
it too. I showed up to the shoot, so I just sat back and watched these guys go to town. It was amazing.
Really fun.
That's good to hear that that's the technique you've used for this. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Fabulous. And do we have one more image there? And that's a beautiful image of Ahsoka.
Yeah, I enjoyed that image. I think we have one more clip, though.
Another clip? Another clip, everyone.
And this is a very special clip. This one, though, you'll notice is really early days. It's just straight up animation. It's not final rendered, not final music, sound design. It is final voice, thank goodness. And it has both you and our friend Matt Lanter in it. And I just thought, this is the kind of thing I know you guys will appreciate and want to see. So even though it's not finished, I wanted you to experience it here at Celebration. So enjoy this clip.
Thank you, Dave.
Commander, sir.
They shouldn't salute me anymore. Not since I left the Order.
It doesn't matter to them. It's a sign of respect. They know what you went through for them, day after day, battle after battle. Loyalty means everything to the clones.
Company! Attention!
Go ahead. They've been waiting to see you. As soon as Rex and the guys knew you were back, they got to work.
The paint job's a little crude, but we think it gets the idea across. Glad to have you back, Commander.
Rex, thank you. But you don't have to call me Commander anymore.
Sure thing, Commander.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Dave.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one.
Fantastic.
It's an important moment.
Ashley, you're very teary-eyed there.
This was the scene at Celebration London when we did the Untold Tales of Ahsoka panel.
Wait, is this the scene that made you cry before when I just described it?
Yes!
Oh, right. It is that scene.
You can water
See how
the
much
trust
better
tree.
it was to watch it than it was me describe it?
Yes, but I think what's so amazing is I think why I was crying so hard then is I never ever thought that we'd be here watching the scene. So to be here and to have just watched that is incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, it's been wonderful to have, you know, you three here, members of the original cast. Of course, you yourself, Dave, as well. But I've taken the liberty of sending a little invitation out.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Would you like to meet some more of the cast of Clone Wars? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the returning stars of Clone Wars, Matt Lanter, Catherine Tabor, Tom Kane, Matthew Wood, and James Arnold Taylor. Welcome to all of you. How you doing?
Very good, very good.
Great.
So it's great to have you all here. Look at this assembly here, ladies and gentlemen. It's fantastic, isn't it? Now, you've all been working together now for 10 years, believe it or not.
Even longer.
Longer than that?
Yeah, because, right? Hasn't it been longer?
Yeah,
technically.
because we were on the
we've all-
the
yeah.
2D, the 2D version before on Cartoon Network.
I see, yeah, of course. So what's it been like getting the band back together, as it were?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, never thought it was going to happen.
No, we never did. No, we thought this was done. It was a great ride, but, you know.
We just thought we were here for a party back there. It was fun. We were having fun then. We didn't know we were going to get... This is even better. Look at all of you. You're beautiful. Yeah, look at them. Hello there.
General Kenobi, you are a bold one.
Yes.
Appreciate it, we do, yes.
Wow. Would you care to as well?
Fans at war, walking around the planet Ryloth and...
Roger, roger.
So you guys, I mean, you seem to slip in and out of the voices very easily. I mean, it's something that coming back to this again you found very easy, yeah?
Well, yeah, people ask, you know, how do you switch from this to this to this? And like, it's, you know, it's an app. You know, once
app.
No, it is. And once it's in your head and you know the character, it's just like, you know, he can go from Battle Droid to Grievous in a split second because, like I just say, it's like punching an app. There it is. You know. But.
I mean, for me, I feel like I never quite put. I mean, obviously, Anakin is more my voice, just a little deeper sometimes. But I feel like I never quite put Anakin down. You know, we do a lot of video games, things like that. That I never quite put it down. So it wasn't. I felt like I picked it right back up, jumped right back into it pretty quick.
You know what? Because you have all been keeping it alive.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's right.
Catherine,
we are not worthy.
I was just going to say,
like
too, that, like, I felt, and people have said this before, but I felt like we were also really well cast for our characters, so that inherently, like, James is very Obi-Wan, Matt is very Anakin, Ashley's very Ahsoka. I mean, it just is kind of...
Dee is every clone.
Yes.
Every one of them.
And
Ever.
this Matt is definitely Grievous and the droids.
So, you know, you seem to get on like sort of one big happy family here. But you don't often get to work together in the recording studio, do you? You're separately recorded, yeah?
Some of them do. I don't live in LA anymore, so I do my stuff remotely. The only time I go back to LA is, you know, it's a feature film. They will absolutely...
Bigger name.
They will absolutely not send a script over email. They're like, no. But yeah, it's...
We get to work together, though, for the most part. I mean, that's the thing. And the other thing is we really are a family. Thank you, Star Wars, because you made this wonderful family for us. And we all just know each other and hang out all the time now. So, yeah.
No, I mean, since this started, my hair went white, and you know, we've adopted a couple kids, and we moved half across the country, but this was the constant, you know, in my life. So.
Yeah. And why do you think it is that Clone Wars resonates with the fans in the way it does? I mean, any of you can comment.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni. He is brilliant.
Well, why? No, I'm saying Dave Filoni.
Saying Dave's
Oh,
the reason.
No. I mean, no. No.
Yes.
Thank you, but look, I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. It's very good. Thank you. But in reality, the reason why it works is because I was taught by the master. That's why it works. I was taught by George. I had to sit with him on a regular basis, and he explained these stories to me, and I listened. And for any young person wanting to be in film or any walk of life, when you meet somebody that is more experienced, that can be a mentor, you should listen. You don't need to impress them by trying to say, I already know how to do that. That's not impressive. Listening is impressive. And that was one of the #1 skills that I had, you know, the ability to listen. That you guys like any of this at all is just, to me, always, it just shows you how he really knew, George really knew what he was doing. And he laid a foundation that has been so alive that we still have these celebrations. And you see so many great creative talents now coming on and creating Star Wars, like, working with Jon Favreau now on Mandalorian, and he loves Star Wars, and I talked to him about it. JT loves Star Wars. We talk about that, and you see this group of people that, like, we love this, you guys love this, let's make more of this, and that's all part of this. It's not any one thing or any one person.
You have to understand that 1 year before Dave was hired to do this, he was cosplaying at a con as Plo Koon.
Yeah, I love Plo Koon. He never got to do much, and then I got to run the Clone Wars, and he did a heck of a lot more. That was weird, but really cool. And George is like, "Why do you like that guy?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't explain it." He's like, "I can't explain it either." Yeah, maybe so, maybe so.
Well, Dave, you've been really generous today. You've shown us some lovely conceptual artwork. You've given us 3 clips.
3.
Exclusive clips.
3 clips.
And we have a wonderful cast reunion here. But I want more.
You want more?
I want more.
It's a demand.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
I love how direct you are. Like that time you said, "You've never cast me in anything." And
I
was
did.
Like,
I just came out with it, didn't I?
Then I did. And it worked out brilliantly, by
It
the
worked
way.
out very well, except because of the time difference, I recorded my dialogue in London in the afternoon, and Dave had to come in very, very early in the morning, and it's not your best time of day.
Very, very
if I'm
early.
honest.
And then I remembered why I hadn't cast you. Because I'd have to get up very early to get to know. It was totally worth it.
I thought you were talking about the performance. Well done.
Oh my God! No, the performance was great. All right. Well, this is the time that we should show a trailer.
What?
It's time we should show a trailer.
You're kidding.
A first trailer. We had the other one. I only had 4 shots, so I couldn't make much of a trailer. I have more shots now.
Wow.
So let's watch a trailer for the return of Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm not coming back.
You are making a mistake.
Maybe. But I have to sort this out on my own. Without the Council. And without you. Where exactly are you from? I used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant. You're probably better off down here. With the Jedi running around, starting wars.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. Fives, Echo, Heavy.
Master Yoda, your thoughts on how to win the war?
No longer certain that one ever does win a war. I am.
You'll never see any Jedi around here. It's not safe down here. Things could have gotten messy for you. That's why I've got my ship.
What squad are we taking in? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The cavalry has arrived! Company! Attention! Glad to have you back, Commander.
The good is new. Maybe a little better.
I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Watch it, you will. Search the Force and foreseen it I have. Yeah.
What an amazing response, Dave. I mean, I would expect nothing less, though. That was absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, man. Thanks, bud.
It's fantastic. Just something to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll all have one of these tickets here. Don't forget, you can get this exclusive mini poster, okay? You have to present this. The instructions are on here. This is what you can get. So don't forget to pick that up. That trailer was incredible.
Thanks, man.
I think I passed out during it.
I'd like to watch it again. It was a lot of work.
Well, I need to watch it again.
Let's do it.
Although, these people have got other things to do. They don't want to see it
and
again.
it's snowing outside. It probably want to enjoy the snow.
Yeah, but they've got loads of it. They want to go eat and stuff. They don't want to see it again.
Is that right?
Warwick, I don't have a ticket. Can you hook me up?
I will. I'll sort
Okay,
you
thank
out. Yeah, yeah. So you want to see that again? All right, let's see it again then.
I'm not coming back.
You are making a mistake.
Maybe. But I have to sort this out on my own. Without the Council. And without you. Where exactly are you from? I used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant. You're probably better off down here. With the Jedi running around, starting wars.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. Fives, Echo, Heavy.
Master Yoda, your thoughts on how to win the war?
No longer certain that one ever does win a war. I am.
You'll never see any Jedi around here. It's not safe down here. Things could have gotten messy for you. That's why I've got my ship.
What squad are we taking in? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99.
The cavalry has arrived! Company, attention!
Glad to have you back, Commander.
The good is new. Maybe a little better.
I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
Star Wars Celebration. I give you the cast of Clone Wars and Mr. Dave Filoni. Congratulations.